64K. Hosted by Bastich.
Hi and welcome to 64K. I'm your host Bastich B, and I just wanted to introduce you quickly to my new series. This is Pop Culture Quick Bytes. This is episode 1. This new series is going to be about me showcasing items that I don't really have any place to showcase in my other shows. It's going to be books, comic books, toys, maybe movies, special editions of games, just rarer stuff that you don't often see covered. So that's what this is all going to be about. So without further ado, let's cue that intro.
Pop Culture Quick Bytes. Episode 1.
Okay, so the first item I want to show you is called 20 Years of Tomb Raider. This is an awesome book that I bought off Amazon recently. It came out in 2016 and it was released by Prima Games. It was pretty reasonably priced, $31. I got it for less because I pre-ordered it. Anyway, this is 360 pages of tomb raiding awesomeness. Let me show you what I mean. So these first chapters deal with the origins of core design, the original trilogy of Tomb Raider games, and the last few that Core made. Chapter that I really like is the creation of Core as a developer, the guys that made Tomb Raider. It's pretty interesting. You go from their humble beginnings and you get to see some of their games which they were well known for, especially in the 8 or maybe even 16-bit era. Rick Dangerous and Chuck Rock and a whole bunch of those kind of games. I used to love all those things, so it's a nice little nostalgia memory that you can go through and read about. And then you get onto the meat of the thing, which is Tomb Raider, obviously. They take you step by step through every Tomb Raider game they ever made, starting with the original trilogy. This is number 2 here. This is my favorite out of the original trilogy, at least. They show every little detail about how this game was made, from level design to graphics to sound to story, concept art that was never used, all those kinds of things. It's very cool. This second section deals with Crystal Dynamics taking over as game designers for the series and rebooting it, and covers everything up to Rise of the Tomb Raider. The book doesn't shy away from the background turmoil that was going on at Core Designs at the time. Their whole transition from leaving the whole Tomb Raider franchise and letting Crystal Dynamics take over. You get to experience and hear about all that kind of stuff. This is the first game that Crystal Dynamics made, Tomb Raider Legends, which is a pretty damn good game, and is leaps and bounds ahead of the last 3 Core related games. So the original trilogy was pretty good. Tomb Raider 2 was probably my favorite. Tomb Raider 3 was also pretty good. It was starting to overstay its welcome a bit, I felt. Tomb Raider 1's a classic just because there was no other game like that at the time. Then we go on to the murky waters of the last 3 Tomb Raider games that Core made, and you got Tomb Raider Revelation, which I played on my Sega Dreamcast. It was okay, but the series had really run out of steam at that point. It was full of bugs. My game crashed all the time. I had weird things happening. I believe the game ended on a cliffhanger. I played it such a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure it did. Anyway, and then you got on to Tomb Raider Chronicles, which is even worse. That was a horrendous game. I also played it on my Dreamcast. Everything about it was bad. The graphics, everything, the controls, the story was just a mess. You're playing Lara Croft at different ages in her life, and it was supposed to tell some sort of overarching story, but it just was terrible. There were so many bugs in that game. I couldn't actually complete it at the end. I got stuck in some sort of elevator and it just crashed. I kept falling through the level. It was terrible. And then obviously the worst Tomb Raider game probably ever made is Angel of Darkness, which was horrendous on the PS2. It pretty much ended the franchise for a few years. That's why Crystal Dynamics stepped in and they revitalized it, and that's why we got awesome stuff like Rise of the Tomb Raider today, which is a fantastic game. There's also cool stuff in here, like how Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness was going to be a trilogy. Anyway, thank God that never happened.
This section's about Laura in comics and print media,
where they show all the different formats that Tomb Raider has appeared in, such as comic books and other mediums. I used to collect this comic book series. It was released by Top Cow. It's really cool. Yeah, it's one issue of one of the copies I have. It's really, it really captures the whole essence of Tomb Raider. They are very cool comics. Really fun to read. The series went on for quite a while. I don't remember how many issues it actually ran for. Definitely more than 45 to 50.
This section's about the 2 movie adaptations.
I actually liked the first one. I thought it was pretty cool.
I think Angelina Jolie was perfectly cast as Lara Croft. They also managed to capture the look and the feel of the games extremely well. I really liked the little nods to the games all over the place in that movie.
The sequel was just awful, and it definitely killed the film franchise, that's for sure. It had a lot of cool sequences in it, but it just doesn't come together at all. This is the Croft Collectors chapter. This is actually pretty cool. I like it. It shows all the crazy merchandise that was released for Tomb Raider. So many things. It goes to a couple people's houses and you can see their mass collections of craziness. There's so much weird merchandise here that I've never even seen before. It's quite amazing how much stuff came out. This section was pretty cool to look at, I guess just because I collect video games, so it's interesting from a collector's point of view. The Voices of Lara Croft section is pretty cool. It shows all the women that have played Lara Croft over the years, Shelley Bond being the first one, all the way up to the latest, Camilla Luddington in Rise of the Tomb Raider. And it gives their story on how they got the job or how they found out about it, and most of them seem to have just fallen into voice acting by mistake, or weird circumstances happened where they got the job, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, so my only real gripe with this book is the fan section. This is where they go with fans and they talk to them why they like Tomb Raider, and people that are cosplaying as Lara Croft, people that are just completely obsessed with it. They've gone on adventures just based on the actual character, and lots of cosplay stuff. This section is way too long. It's actually the worst part of the book. It's a little bit boring to read. I mean, if you like Tomb Raider, you like Tomb Raider. I don't really want to hear you preach about it for like 100 pages. So it's a bit of a waste of space in the book, I feel. So overall the book is excellent, I feel. Even if you are just a casual fan of Tomb Raider, you'll probably find it very interesting. It's got tons of detail, tons of stuff. Like they even cover Lost Artifact, which is that add-on that they released only for the PC for Tomb Raider 3. Right up to Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is obviously the latest game as of making this video. So there's so much more stuff in this book that I want to show you, but I don't want to drag these videos out. So lots of other sections, lots of other chapters, all of them are a pretty good read. So I would highly recommend getting this book, so you should check it out.